The Grammys decided on June 16th, 2026 that we should bring back segregation. The Grammys have announced 7 new categories for the next 2027 Grammys award session. These categories include Best Asian Pop Music Performance, Best Asian Jazz Performance, Best Global Music Performance, with subcategories depending on your continent, Best White North American R&B Performance, Best Non-White Contemporary Country Album, Best African Pop Music Performance, and we're bringing back a fan favorite, Best Urban/Alternative Performance. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Segregation has always been a part of the Grammys.
Eyes out.
Are you a black recording artist that has made music that vaguely resembles and/or draws influence from hip-hop and/or performs speech in a vaguely rhythmic fashion? Want to make a predominantly pop album that really draws from that, but is not fully hip-hop? I'm so sorry. You are a rap artist. Are you a Latin recording artist? Want to win a main category? Well, unless you become, like, the biggest artist in the entire world, you're going to the Latin corner, dude. You're not winning one. I'm sorry, your chances are over. Are you a South Asian pop artist? You're fucked. Are you a woman? I mean, that's fine, but, like, just know that 3 tables down, we got, like, a bunch of sex offenders just, like, eating the Wolfgang Puck meal right now. They're going ham over there, whilst you're over here, like, just chilling. Why do the Grammys matter? And why do I bother to talk about any of this? An institution that, throughout history, has frankly made some questionable decisions with who they choose to highlight, and most importantly, who they choose not to highlight. Yes, BTS does have something to do with this video. Just you wait. The entertainment industry, along with every other type of industry, has been now associated with many different types of hubs internationally. A result of this is rapid globalization. It's now easier than in any point in history to make a film, to make music. When we try to pin the starting point of this pink nugget paste extruder machine, we look towards
34 degree 0606 and 118 degree 1936 W.
the West. The West, according to the people that put their history books on top of the smoldering ashes of everyone else. We're going the whole...
Feel like Kanye, I'm praying to God. You know it's my way, stay where you are. Stay a little fire, little baby, you geek. Living
Before Hollywood, or frankly, any of what is now known as modern-day California, we had this. This is very important because if we are to make our way just slightly down south of this area, we come across the indigenous lands of the
Gabrielino/Tongva Nation.
No, both of these names are byproducts of colonization. So this name is a result of the Spanish, and this name is a result of this guy. So some descendants prefer this name. It's not my place to decide what they wish to be called, but just letting you know. Holy shit, their history is messed up. It is really messed up. Colonization, assimilation, forced indoctrination into religion. It's a pretty loaded topic. But if I'm going to talk about this fuck-ass award, I gotta talk about the land it was made on. A bunch of real estate chuds decided to commercialize stolen land, and this lady decided to name it Hollywood. Because, and for the reason is, and I quote, I chose the name Hollywood simply because it sounds nice. And because I'm superstitious. And Holly brings good luck. It's also based off this estate in Illinois, which used to be called Hollywood, which is now just modern-day Brookfield. Apparently, there's some good Mexican restaurants there. Hollywood's whole existence as this hub for film kind of came out of the ideal conditions and how everything kind of just lined up. You had bad weather, nowhere to film? California is literally the most biodiverse state in the nation. So you can't film your movies because Thomas Edison put a bunch of patents on your film equipment. Come to Los Angeles, here you can evade anything. Film studios basically just owned everything. They had a monopoly on the system, a refined factory pipeline pumping out films, but they also had control over the movie theaters. So this meant they kind of had the power to control whatever the public sees and whatever the public doesn't see. That didn't last. The Hollywood antitrust case, or the Paramount case, or the Paramount decision in 1948 meant that the major film studios were unable to own their theaters, which meant that the golden age of Hollywood was coming to an end. Hooray! International films and independent films were becoming more prevalent in theaters. Can't imagine big Hollywood film was happy about that. In 1953, they put a bunch of stars on the floor. Hey, should we put a bunch of, like, recording and audio studio guys in here, like, I mean, they're kind of like contributing pretty heavily to our film. But they don't really like qualify for the whole Hollywood thing. Yeah, what if we just made like a separate award? That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life. Just like that, in 1957, the Recording Academy was founded by a bunch of record label executives. What could go wrong with that? That's such a good idea. I've never heard of such a good idea in my life. I don't want to talk about, like, I don't want to ponder on the Grammys, they pick such weird winners, there's so many snubs. It's all a bunch of music industry bullshit, and pondering the should'ves and could'ves of the winners is just delving into the paparazzi, tabloidy Hollywood crap that's already pretty well known around there. And besides, who am I to say what's good or bad? I mean, there is music that I think is pretty bad. So it's a popularity contest designed for record labels to make passionate sweet love with each other as the sun goes down on the rotting corpses of independent musicians and the global south. Unless you're Chance the Rapper. This is the biggest stage a musician can get in their careers. It's a sign that you've basically made it, and to win it,
You have to sell your soul.
celebrating in the name of music on the surface, but drawing lines quietly to uphold the idealized vision of what music should be. Regardless of my thoughts on the show, it is such a cultural force where I live. And come award season, I do see the nominations like fully dictate patterns of music listening in 80% of the people that I know. Okay, you know what, actually maybe 80% is probably hyperbole, but you get what I mean. These awards do have reach. They have a surprising amount of reach, and it's kind of terrifying. So the winners are placed on the biggest platform at the whim of record labels, so you can go to your shopping mall, your doctor's office, your school, and you can hear it without your consent on every fucking radio station, and all of it is based off who won that year. Does this not sound like what they were doing in Hollywood? Look, I'm not one to really use genres to define music, but if you're gonna use them, you gotta at least do them fucking right. Hotline Bling isn't a rap song. Why was it nominated for Best Rap Song? This is the only time in my life I will defend Drake on anything. Pop is a genre. A very loosely defined genre, but I guess you can call it one. A popular music, I don't know. J-pop is not a genre. K-pop is not a genre. Any type of pop that uses a letter to attach itself to a specific region in the world where that pop comes from isn't its own genre. Like, it's still pop. Look, I just made a new term. It's called NA pop, right? NA pop. That means it's pop from North America. I'm a fucking genius. Why are we making categories to prop up artists from the same regions of the world against each other and setting a separate standard for pop produced in the West? 60% of the world's population is in Asia. You're putting 60% of the world in its singular separate category. Just chuck them into the corner. Pop in Asia is huge. English being set as a standard for what any baseline of genre is literally on some colonial shit. The Asian pop category was created to celebrate the depth, diversity, and extraordinary growth of the pop artistry coming out of Asia. Look, I kind of get what they're saying. More categories, more nominations, more spotlight on deserving artists, but it's also setting a cap to what peaks a specific race of people can reach unless they tap into English-based music. These are all pop artists, but only these guys can make it into the best pop performance category. The pinnacle of the award, the highest accolade of this genre. At this point, I'm rooting for Bruno Mars. Like, shout out Lumpia. And it's separated based off the race. We should be beyond this point of needing to categorize the music by the place of origin. BTS's boycott isn't just a one-off type of situation. It's a byproduct. A symptom of the Recording Academy's lie that it serves to represent and highlight music equally. You gotta think about the people that are gonna be watching the show. They're focused on the big categories, right? Best pop, best record, best song, best album of the year, you know, all that. Ushering a whole section of artists into another pool, it's just the same shit the Grammys have always been doing to non-English music. They're turning them into the other. And it isn't even confined to non-English artists at this point. Like, remember what Tyler the Creator said.
It sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending or that's anything, they always put it in a rap or urban category, which is, and I don't like that urban word. It's just a politically correct way to say the N-word to me. So when I hear that, I'm just like, why can't we just be in pop? Why can't it just, you know what I mean? So I felt like half of me feels like the rap nomination was a backhanded compliment. Like, oh, my little cousin wants to play the game. Let's give him the unplugged controller so he could shut up and feel good about it. That's what it felt like a bit. But another half of me is very grateful that the art that I made could be acknowledged on a level like this when I don't do the radio stuff. I'm not played in Target. I'm in a whole different world than what a lot of people here listen to. So I'm grateful and like,
That was 6 years ago. Have we not learned anything?
Oh, it's giving me a headache.
And it's like, we've seen this before. The aforementioned bullshit with the Latin Grammys and Latin categories, excluding reggaeton and regional Mexican music. You know, the list goes on. And I mean it goes on. Beyonce won Best Country Album with a 100% country album. Nah, we can't have that. No, that's not happening. Beyonce, darling child of the Grammys, most wins ever in categories such as Best Urban Contemporary, Best Urban Contemporary, Best Urban. God, I just love the use of racist euphemisms. We should turn Best Asian Pop Performance to Best Oriental Pop Performance. Like, I also just love the lack of transparency behind the voting process. Like, who is actually voting on any of this? Reviewing sessions by more than 350 experts in various fields are held to ensure that the entered recordings meet specific qualifications and have been placed in appropriate fields, such as jazz, traditional pop, contemporary instrumental and musical theatre, Latin, global, reggae, and new age ambient or chant, among others. I understand the value of anonymity when it comes to voting on any type of award show or anything like that. But with a show at this scale, I want to at least have the confidence that the people voting and giving these awards out are actually capable of doing so. You just want me to blindly trust Hollywood? Do you know what Hollywood has done since its conception? Imagine a country guy voting on Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album. He would think this is his hit list rather than a spread of musicians. God, it's exhausting, but like, I understand it's a shitty popularity contest and I shouldn't be giving my time to it, but it's so unavoidable. Like, and everything they do is just so dumb. I just hope they just fully just explode one day. Like, I just hope they just tank. Huh? Check their ratings. Wait, what? Holy shit! Quick video. I swear future content will be less reactionary. I just need to vent about this.